Let's go next to Ali Reza in Toronto, Canada. Ali Reza, you're on the air. Ali Reza, please unmute so that we can hear you. You are on the air in Toronto, Canada, but I cannot hear you until you unmute yourself and configure your audio. And Ali Reza, absolute last opportunity. It's sort of a going once, going twice, going three times type of thing. And Ali Reza is gone because Ali Reza was unable to put everything together. Let's next go to Hamdi from Norway. Hamdi from Norway, you're on the air.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Do we have a specific point that we have to hold to?
A specific point?
Yeah, like, for example, I have a question regarding what do you think that the people on the right side on the political spectrum get away with lies compared to the people on the left side?
Beautiful. So when you say they get away with them, they get who isn't holding them. In other words, when the right lies, the left doesn't punish them for it, or it's the right that doesn't punish the right for lying?
Well, both, because people on the left, they punish people from the left, while the people from the right, they stick together. Like it's like a clan with wolves, you know? They stick together thick and thin.
Right. I mean, it's different standards. This is exactly the point. And I talked about this a few weeks ago when I explained that the Trump cult is, they don't think about facts and truth the way that we on the left do. They believe that they are waging essentially a war and that they have the moral high ground. And so when Kayleigh McEnany comes out and lies, and Trump says he won Georgia, and people at the rally in Georgia say Fox now is liberal and you have to listen to Newsmax, they think that it doesn't matter whether they are telling the truth in a literal sense because they are in a war where any tactic to win the war is acceptable. The left doesn't have that perspective. And the left often will say, we're not going to stoop to their level. And this is why the right gets away with lies that the left wouldn't even let its own get away with. You're identifying this perfectly.
Yeah, for example, we have a saying as a Norwegian from an immigrant family, of course. I'm North African from Western Sahara.
Okay.
So basically, my dad came here in 1978. What I love about Norway, for example, I never experienced racism, not even once.
Really?
It's such. We have a thing in Norway that's called "våre nye landsmenn," which means like our new people.
It's interesting to hear you say that because, you know, one of the arguments that American right-wingers love to make about Sweden, Norway, and Finland is they say the reason that there's no racism there is that there's no people to be racist against because everybody's white. But you're saying, even as someone who is in an overwhelming minority there, you've never felt racism in that way.
Well, one thing is that what's fun about this is that I hate the fact that Americans, I'm sorry, but Americans think that their country is the only nation with immigrants. For example, right. I'm from a city called Drammen, and it's one of the biggest cities in Norway. And you have Oslo, which is like around 24% immigrants,
right?
Like people from immigrant background. So there's a lot of immigrants in Norway. I think it's 2% of the population is Muslim now. And we have tons of Vietnamese as well.
I think that's higher than the United States, Hamid. I believe in the U.S. only 1.5% is Muslim or something like that.
It might be 1. So it's between 1 and 2%.
Okay, fair.
The biggest immigrant group we have here is Swedish and Pakistanis and now Polish, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But we have immigrants from all parts of the world, just like you guys have. So it's not really that big of a difference.
Yeah.
The thing about them, I was going to ask really is that I find it really strange that the people on the right get away with racist terms without, when you call them out about it, they try to say they're not racist. For example, we have people on the right, like you guys have Donald Trump. We have someone called Sylvie Listhaug, a female. I think there was a Colbert report maybe made fun of her because she and people in her party
Yeah.
use a term that called sneak Islamizing, which is a sneaky way of introducing
Yeah,
Islam to
sneaky
Norway.
Islamization, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And I mean, like, if you said that stuff about Jews, like sneaky Jews trying to invade our country, if you did something like that, oh my God, you will be called out straight away in Norway.
Well, people do say that all the time, interestingly enough. But yes, you're right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's no head of a political party in Norway who says that about Jews, for
Right,
example.
I understand.
But somehow it's okay to say this about Muslims.
Yeah.
And I wonder, why can people on the right side get away with this with no consequences?
Yeah, it's well, it's because their side doesn't think there should be consequences. That's the exact difference. And people say, well, the left allows the left to get away with the same. No, they don't. It's like, here we had this Anthony Weiner scandal. As soon as Anthony Weiner was caught with these texts, Democrats just disavowed him, and that was it. When there was a guy caught with $10,000 in his freezer for some bribe, it was like a decade ago. Democrats weren't standing by him. I forget his name now. So yeah, it just they don't think there should be consequences for some of these things. So then therefore there are no consequences. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hamdi, listen, I love the call. I've never been to Norway, but it is high on my list, and I would love to visit.
Yeah, it would be great to have you here.
Now, I've been to
you
Finland.
like it a lot.
What would be if I liked Finland? What would be the most notably different thing about Norway if I visited?
Yeah, well, basically, you say that, for example, we have a company called Sector Alarm, which is one of the biggest alarm companies in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So we opened a section for Finnish people. Well, the thing is about Finnish people, they're known for being really quiet, not like they don't like to talk, they don't like to, they're not really sociable. But as soon as you give them something to drink, they come really sociable. But Norwegians are more like, they're more tolerant. They're very left wing. And that's why I'm saying never experienced racism here. People are very open, very friendly. And I encourage everybody to come over here and see for yourself.
I plan to. We used to have direct flights from Boston to Oslo. Now, who knows, but I will make it there after the pandemic, my friend.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for the call. Very much appreciate it. I'm sorry I was not able to take more calls, but we got some good ones. I will take calls again very soon. We will go to a break and be back with more right after this.